Let's continue on our adventuring with Ring Fit Adventure Round 2. This is a continuing series where I play Ring Fit Adventure until I 100% complete the game. I'll be playing every other month for 30 days, in between doing fitness game reviews of other games. If you haven't seen that video, then go ahead and click here or here. I haven't gotten used to this whole YouTube thing. To watch the previous video. Now, let's get started. I left off last round in the middle of World 7, with most of the side quests still being incomplete. I decided, before I continue, I need to try and 100% every single world so far, and I was able to do so except for World 3, which has a side mission that is not available. And I kind of spoiled it for myself and looked it up online to see when it gets unlocked and how does it get unlocked, or what do I need to do in order to 100% World 3. And apparently you have to beat the game first, so my dreams of 100% completion before breeding dragaux right in the end won't happen. Why I say dragaux? It's dragaux. Until then, I just figured that I should continue playing the game on my own pace, switching from side quests to the main storyline, with while recording, mostly playing on the main quests. That way you don't have to see me fail over and over again at these minigames. And I tried beating all of the challenge up to that point. Was pretty comfortable, except for two minigames. Two of the worst minigames. Squattery Reel and Smacked Back. Out of all the minigames in the game, Squattery Reel is by far the worst. Basically, you have to squat to lower the robot and then squeeze them to sharpen the clay and manipulate it to see what you see on the left side of the screen here. This sounds all fine and dandy in theory, but in practice, it's a mess. When you squeeze the clay, it will just adjust to the left and the right, meaning the work you just completed will get misshapen. When it's time to evaluate the shape, the ruling is way too strict. I ended up continually getting 0 points for my work. Not to mention the minigame itself is just boring as... That was actually a word for hell. There's an ant on my foot. Most of the games are frantically having you do something against a countdown, but they will give you so much time that there really isn't a challenge. I spent probably 45 minutes trying to beat the minigame. What I found out is that there is a shape that is much easier to make than others, so I just kept restarting the game until I got that shape. Overall, 100%, not fun at all, and I hate it. I see it's been getting online hate, and that it's 100% justified. This minigame is terrible. The second minigame, Smackback, is pretty fun overall. The challenge is to smack back every single one of these little discs that are thrown, and so it destroys the robot. If the robot throws one and you don't hit hard enough, or it misses and it hits you, then you have to restart the minigame all the way from the beginning. And I had to replay it a lot. It's a lot harder than it looks, because you have to quickly shake those. I just wish it was a little bit more forgiving. Maybe you destroy 90% of the robots would be a much more obtainable goal. If I was a little kid, I would probably have given up on these two minigames and just continued playing the main game and just skipping them whenever I see them. But since I'm a 26-year-old adult, I persisted and eventually won the battle against these two. The trick to beating Smackback, come here close. Come closer, computer. Is to just cheat and swing the ring around without moving your upper body at all. I mean, it just works like a charm if you just cheat. That's my secret. So due to me spending all my time completing all the side quests, I was only able to make it to World 12. But things started to get exciting story-wise. To recap, at the beginning of the game, you walk across a strange floating ring and decide to pull it like, everyone else would. If I come across like a floating onion ring outside of a White Castle, well, I'm fat, so I'd probably eat it, but then I'd pull on it. This unleashed dragaux, which you defeat a few times within the game, usually after the end of each world, and he always ends up escaping, and then you just have to travel to the next world, face him again, beat him again. At World 5, you decide to get help from the 4 Masters of Fitness: Allegra, Armando, Adonis, and Anma. I just realized how terrible that Anma name is. Ugh. Each of them representing the 4 different types of exercises in the game: legs, arms, abs, and yoga, respectively. By training each one and getting them on your side, you thought you would be able to defeat Dragaux. However, he ends up corrupting them and forces them against you. You now have to fight each one to try and get to Dragaux. From World 5 to where I'm at now, World 12, you usually face off with 1 or 4 of the Masters to get to the fight with Dragaux and continue on to the next world. It sounds kind of monotonous, and it kind of is, but the dialogue and the overall story are not taken seriously at all. It makes it engaging and motivating to play the story, and I'm not going to lie, I usually skip over most of the dialogue, but from the parts I've read, it's smartly written, it's pretty funny, it's cheesy, it's like a Nintendo cheesy video game. The one gripe I have, and I'm going to probably repeat this for this video and maybe some more, game would have benefited from voice acting within the dialogue. I'm not talking about that good either. You don't need to hire like Steve Bloom or anyone like that. I just want some cheesy anime voice acting. Like, you gotta follow the ring, something like that. It would have just brought everything together and make the game and overworld so much better. While playing the game for a total of 60 days, the game isn't done throwing out tricks out. One main thing that happened is the expansion of the skill tree. I was about halfway through the current one when all of a sudden, boom, there's about 3 times as many skills and paths available. This definitely kept me motivated to try and unlock all of the skills. With the new skill tree, the ability to level up your exercise. Higher levels bring more damage, and it's great as underpowered skills such as your overhead press or your just plain squat. Ooh, I just played, not to mention like 30 minutes ago, so my squats are kind of hurting. And all of a sudden, they're just the most powerful skills you have in the game. This is a great way to motivate the player to continue switching up exercises instead of just relying on the newest and most powerful ones. One thing I wish would have occurred is that the new 2-star abilities and the old 1-star abilities are both selectable to fill up a spot in your workout list. Which is dumb. Why have the ability to pick 2 of them instead of just consolidating the icons and choosing just one exercise? Who would choose the 1-star version of an exercise when you have the 2-star version ready and available? It just doesn't make any sense. I think the point is to make you think, oh wow, there's so many exercises in this game, when really there's only 40. The game also keeps you on your toes by introducing new enemies to face against. There are these flying speaker things that can, shoot lasers, pew, and call for backup. I hate these guys because just when you think the round is over, bam, they get for someone, and you now have to refight a new enemy that you just previously beaten. There are also these protein shaker guys that can spit juice at you, which will either lower or raise one of your fitness skills. And they can also shoot damage at you too, but they mostly just shoot that goop at you. And you have to learn that with these 2 enemies, you gotta do your best to take them out first. If there's a variety of different enemy types, such as 1 leg one, 1 arm one, 1 yellow one, Then you would have to figure out which exercises. Okay, so there's a red speaker. I'm going to use a red move to take them all out. And there are new environmental hazards as well that you have to face on your journey. There are these blocks you have to either push or pull by squeezing the ring Kong or pulling it, or reach higher places for different paths. One part I have noticed become a little boring is the environment. It's a constant repeat of the factory, or the woods, or the seaside. The colors change in the paths, environmental channel hazards, and the enemies change, but the setting itself just keeps repeating. It wasn't until World 12, when I am up in the snow-topped mountains, when the environment finally started to change. I hope the game can introduce new, distinct worlds like this. Maybe a futuristic city you have to run through before the microphone laser guys shoot you, or maybe a lava-based climate, or bring back Woohoo Island for us to run around in. I miss that place. But you're just going to show up in Wii Fit Resort and Pilot Rings Resort and just leave my life forever? I don't think so. Overall, I'm having a blast this game. I looked up how many worlds there are to 100% complete, and there are 69 in the game. Nice.
Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice. Nice.
They probably picked that number on purpose. I don't know if I'm going to keep this series going for that long, since, there's so many fitness video games to review. I mean, crap. With the filming of this video, they just announced Wii Fit Boxing. That shows you how many videos I have in queue. But I plan on at least doing 2 more of these continuation type videos in between new fitness games reviews, as well as, the rest of the videos I try to pump out weekly. I feel like this is such a big game that's worth it to go into deep like this. Just deep and dive and to take everything face value and everything this game throws at you. I recommend anybody who's wanting to pick up your own copy of this game and play it as a challenge. Do this. Record yourself playing, uploading it to YouTube. It is incredibly fun. I mean, YouTube in general is such a fun hobby that I think everybody should give at least a try in. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video on Ring Fit Adventure. If you like this video, then please thumb up, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can expect a new video every single week on things such as self-development, product tries, and fitness game reviews. Eventually I'm going to polish the channel up, put some art up, put maybe like a theme song or intro in here. Who knows, 2021 will hopefully be a better year than this year. If you have any suggestions on the videos you would like to see, then please leave a comment below. I try and make sure to make any requests posted, as I love trying new and interesting things. Follow us on Twitter at TrueJackJenk. That's True, True, Jack, Jack, Jenk, Jenk. Lastly, have a fantastic day, everyone.